Ahoy! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, okay, I'm gonna make an official statement. I am reinstating that as my intro. No! Because somebody said that they missed it. So this is for you. No! So today, as you can tell by the title, I'm just gonna do a little Q&A, you know how it be. I just thought I'd answer some for you guys because I'm just gonna do that because I'm just nice like that. So, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. Without further ado, let's just hop right in. First question is, what's your ethnicity / how do you identify? We just sneak into my 23andMe here. I am currently, because apparently this thing changes. It's changed, the percentages have changed just a few percentage points since when I first took the test. Because I don't know, because their system just keeps evolving, I guess. So like, this is what I currently am. I'm 59% European. Within that, I'm just gonna round everything, okay? 20% British and Irish, 13% Italian. I'm 29% Central and South Asian, so 20% Central Asian, Northern Indian, and Pakistani. 10% Northern Indian and Pakistani. Didn't I just say that? See, like what? I'm 9% Western Asian and North African. Just a lot of breakdowns. Like I don't know if everyone's looked like this. I literally have like British and Irish, French and German, Scandinavian, Italian, Spanish and Portuguese, Greek and Balkan, broadly Southern, broadly this and that, Northern Indian, Pakistani, Bengali and Northeast Indian, Central Asian, broadly Central Asian, Northern Indian, Pakistani, Southern South Asian, Southern Indian and Sri Lankan, Northern West Asian, Anatolian, broadly Northern West Asian, broadly Western Asian and North African, broadly East Asian and Native American. If you look at my little like map of all the countries, it's like a lot, but overwhelmingly European. So I sort of like to call myself off-white because I feel like that is like right. I don't know, to be honest. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I don't necessarily look just like, I don't know, like if you saw me, would you be like, oh, that girl's British? Like, like would you? No, but like, right? I don't know. You tell me. Someone tell me. I don't know. I guess I can help answer that with the next question, which is, have you ever felt targeted because of your ethnicity / skin tone? No, absolutely not. I don't feel like I have felt any effects of racism towards myself. I have white privilege in that way. Has your ethnicity ever made you feel inferior to someone else? Amazing question. No, my ethnicity has not made me feel inferior to anyone else because of the difference in our ethnicities. Have you ever been skeptical that someone was fetishizing you due to your ethnicity? I was not expecting that question. I'm assuming they mean like, if somebody was attracted to me, was I afraid that they were fetishizing me, or weren't actually attracted to like me, but more just my race or whatever. And no, I have not ever been afraid of that. And that thought has not actually ever crossed my mind. Has it crossed yours? These are really getting juicy. Have you been able to come in and out of the Black Lives Matter movement as it overwhelms you? That's an interesting question. Yes. For a solid 2 to 3 weeks, I was not sleeping at night. And by that I mean I would not be able to fall asleep for a couple of hours. Then at around like 3, maybe I'd zonk out and wake up again at 6. And then like try and fall back asleep and then wake up again at 8:30 and like have to just start my day at that point, you know. And hold up. Oh, sorry, I just need to. And I was getting into a lot of heavy conversations with distant family members and old high school friends on like Instagram and Facebook and things over posts that they were choosing to post and beliefs they held and were sharing with everyone. And then at a certain point, I was no longer finding myself in a lot of those conversations. It was really overwhelming me, and I have been trying to stay in the fight, but I am able to distance myself when it's overwhelming because I live in a predominantly white place. That's how I'm gonna finish that answer, because the next question is, do you realize that Black, Indigenous, people of color don't get that choice? The few weeks that I experienced of not being able to sleep and feeling really overwhelmed and feeling extremely frustrated and angry at this country and a lot of the people in my life and a lot of the influencers I looked up to on YouTube, that few weeks of discomfort I was able to come out of because I am a privileged white person. Black, Indigenous, people of color don't get to just come out of that because that's what they experience in their day-to-day life, and that's not fair. Next question. Have you asked any of your Black, Indigenous, people of color friends how they are and how you can support them? I'm gonna be honest, no. I asked two of my Black friends, but one of them I only asked because he put on his story like that he was not okay. So that doesn't even count. That's damage control. That's not being proactive. I'm gonna be really truly honest. I always get afraid to ask people how they are because I feel like that's then me exposing the fact that I don't think they're okay, or that I think that they shouldn't feel okay. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like if you're a Black person right now in specific, just as an example, I really don't know what you're going through. Maybe you're feeling crushed and overwhelmed and utterly obliterated by this movement and everything that's going on in your life. Or maybe you're feeling really empowered and you're super excited. And I get really afraid to ask because I don't ever want to make somebody feel worse. And I don't want them to think that I'm only asking because I feel like I have to ask. So no, I did not go out of my way to ask anybody. I only asked if it felt natural. Do I wish I had asked every single Black, Indigenous person of color how they were doing? I don't know. Does that sound like what I should have done? I really don't know. If it was somebody I'm not close to, I feel weird reaching out and being like, how are you? Like, maybe they just don't want to talk to me about this. Yeah, that's what happened to me on that one. Are you afraid of losing your white privilege? Am I afraid of losing this disgustingly backwards ideal that a skin tone affords you respect, safety, basic human rights, and just an easier lifestyle? No, I'm not afraid of losing that. I mean, is it scary to think about being somebody who doesn't have basic human rights? Yes. Yes. That's terrifying. And so many people live like that. So many people live without their basic human rights being upheld. That's terrifying. Nobody chose to be born what they were, and this is just what happened. And these are just the rules. This is just how it was constructed, and I feel guilty that I enjoy certain privileges and luxuries that I just was born into. And that extends beyond just what my skin tone affords me. I mean, I was born into a pretty comfortable lifestyle. I live near the beach. I live in California. Like, I've never been afraid of not having enough money. I mean, obviously, like, when I live in New York, I'm like very stressed out. But I was never afraid that I wasn't gonna be able to have a meal or be able to fill up my car with gas next week. So many privileges that I do feel extremely lucky and honestly like very, very guilty just for having. I know people have it better than me. I know loads of people have it worse than me, but I just feel guilty for what I have. And all I can do is use those privileges to the very best of my abilities. Even though my best is probably not as good as Michelle Obama's, it's as good as I'm gonna ever be able to do. And I will always work on improving that. But like, you know, making these videos, I don't know, writing my poems, like that's what I have to offer at the moment. In what situations are you still silent? Here's the thing, unpopular opinion maybe, I think it's easier to call someone out who's being blatantly racist. Somebody who can be your best friend Did I just say he? They could be your best friend. I'm thinking of someone in specific, okay, not all men. One specific person. They can be somebody you've known for a really long time or a family member. And if they're saying something that's so obviously against what you believe, I find that way easier to call out than somebody who is like, you know, your friend. You guys share a lot of the same beliefs, but then they say something that's so subtle and you're like, oh, that's not good. But you, this whole time, had been believing that you were both on the same, and like, you guys really have the same morals and values or whatever and beliefs, and then you're like, do I really have to call this person out? This person? That's when I find it the hardest. That's what I struggle with. When you're all just laughing, having a good time, and then it's like something so subtle that you don't even like know really. That's when it's like, oh. And that's when it's the most important, I feel like. This one comes from Layla F. Sa from Me and My White Supremacy. In what ways have you believed that you are exceptional, exempt, one of the good ones, or above the conditioning of white supremacy? I straight up didn't think I was racist my whole life. Like I said, I came from a predominantly white town. There were very few people of color at all in my school, which is super sad, and it's just not even something I realized. That's how whitewashed I am. I would never use racial slurs or anything, but I wouldn't speak up or do anything about it. I like walked on eggshells. I was terrified. I was like, I don't know like what's racist and what's not really. I just like know that I don't think that I'm superior to you in any way. I don't think anybody is. But that is racist, because what I've learned and am continuing to learn is that it's the fact that when you don't speak up in those moments or you don't take charge of it, you're ignoring the fact that it exists, which gives the other side power and allows it to thrive. By saying I don't see color, by saying we're all one race, the human race. I mean, like, ideally, we'd all believe that, but that would have had to already have been the case. And since it's not, or the fact that, you know, I could say, oh, I just don't see color, I'm just ignoring the fact that their entire life is affected every single day by their color. So by me not seeing it, I'm not seeing that. I'm denying that it exists. And that's a problem. I feel like there was more I wanted to say, but I can't remember. Anyways, so yeah, thank you guys for all your questions. I did write those myself. This was not a trick, I didn't lie to you. This is a Q&A. You just didn't ask for it. Yeah, I just wanted to answer some of those questions because, like I said, I feel like I am plateauing and I don't want to be. This movement is just far from over, is the point. By the way, the reason I'm not using my super dope phone case is because I need a pop socket at all times. I literally cannot live without one. Like, my old one, it used to be a lighter color, fell off, and I had immediately to go to the store and get a new one. It was the worst day of my life, like, without a pop socket, I swear to God. It's so funny, I was just talking about like white privilege and how like privileged I am, and I'm just ranting about a pop socket on an iPhone. Like, how privileged can you get? But alas, these are my problems. Go grab yourself a dope phone case. That Ellie one, like, low-key regrets. I kind of want that one instead, but you should go get it. But use the link in my description. And oh yeah, I finally got the game. But yeah, anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next vid. Okay, bye.